Well, top of the morning, everybody, from Berlin-Brandenburg Airport. A bit too bright and a bit too early for my liking, but nonetheless, here we are. And actually, what we're getting ready to do today is to embark upon an adventure to a place where I have never been before. Belgrade, the capital of the Republic of Serbia, and also formerly, back in the day, it would have been the capital of socialist Yugoslavia. So, if you've watched this channel before, you probably have a little bit of an idea of what's to come. Not Soviet nostalgia this time, but Yugo nostalgia. Anyway, first things first, let's get checked in for our flight to Belgrade with Air Serbia. So first things first, let's find the check-in counter for Air Serbia. Now, I tried to check in online, and unfortunately it wasn't working, and also on the app. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but nonetheless, let's hope that it's a smooth and easy process. It is 2.5 hours before the flight, which I think is a decent time to be here. But yeah, let's see if the check-in counter is actually open. I think maybe, no, it's not here, it's a bit further. Well, that was fairly easy, and boarding pass is now in hand. You can see the flight number JU355. The JU means Yugoslavia, so I guess we've already started the Yugonostalgia tour. Well, as we make our way towards the gate, I figured I would just tell you a little bit about the history of Air Serbia, this airline that I'm flying on for the first time. And yeah, Air Serbia initially was founded as Aeroput. Its history goes back to when there was a country known again as Yugoslavia. And after World War II, after the victory of the partisans over the fascists, well, then you have socialist Yugoslavia. And during this period, basically, Aeroput is reorganized as YAT, Yugoslavian Aero Transport. Now, YAT continues to exist as late as 2013 when it was rebranded Air Serbia. And that's pretty interesting because actually the thing is, well, Yugoslavia did not exist at that time. Yugoslavia technically exists as late as 2003, but by that time it was only Serbia and Montenegro basically still referring to themselves as a union as Yugoslavia. In 2003, the name of the country is changed to Serbia and Montenegro, and then in 2006, Montenegro actually, well, secedes. So still, for several years after that, for 7 years, YAT remains the flag carrier of Serbia. In 2013, then finally it is changed to the new, remodeled, rebranded Air Serbia. So super excited to be flying on board with them today. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
All right, so officially been stamped into the Republic of Serbia. Man, wish I was being stamped back in time to the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, but we definitely do have some Yugoslav-esque things lined up. Anyway, the first thing we gotta do is to find the A1 minibus, which will take us into town. Fingers crossed it's not too hard to find. And here we go, Serbia, baby, Belgrade. Wow, it's much warmer than Berlin. Well, here we are. Welcome to Belgrade. And yeah, the minibus from the airport took about 40 minutes. It links the airport to Slavia Square. And yeah, basically costs less than 4 euros, around 400 dinar to get over here. A little bit confusing actually leaving the airport, trying to figure out where the minibus left from. I walked around in circles for about 10 minutes, which I did not film, of course. But anyway, we're here. Well, here's the iconic Hotel Moscow, where we are not staying this time around, and that's because it's not a hotel from the socialist period. It is, however, called the Hotel Moscow, presumably because we are in a Slavic country. In fact, Yugoslavia meant the land of the South Slavs, so underscoring the relationship, the brotherly relationship, if you will, between the Russian people and the Serbian people. And I gotta say, first impressions of Belgrade, it is gritty. But I love it, man. And actually looks a little bit Soviet-esque. Now, of course, Yugoslavia was not part of the socialist bloc. We'll get into that later. And you know, nothing makes me feel like I'm back in, let's say, Bishkek, Chisinau, more than trolley buses. Well, yeah, man, I mean, I'm liking it so far, and just very jubilant, honestly, to be in Belgrade. Not far from Berlin whatsoever. 1.5 hours flying. I mean, I was just in Berlin a few hours ago, and now I've been transported to a completely different world. But what a place it is so far. Wow, Republic Square. Looking quite delightful, I got to say. And the weather today, absolutely gorgeous. Well, I think what we need to do is actually get some food and maybe sit down for about half an hour, 45 minutes, regroup a little bit before heading over to my hotel, which I cannot wait to show you. In fact, this has been the thing, the hotel, that I've been most excited for here in Belgrade. Well, believe it or not, I think we've already found Socialist Yugoslavia, Kafana SFRJ. In other words, Taverna, Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. All right, man, let's do this. Hello. Hi. One person? Yes. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Whew, well, what a meal and what a spot. I mean, welcome to Yugoslavia, or Serbia, but wow, I mean, incredible spot, number one, but also in addition to that, I mean, the cevapi or cevapcici, they said it was a small. I should have known because it said 300 grams, but when it came, I was thinking this is enough for a village. And I think that being said, I'm definitely skipping dinner. The good news is it's a 52-minute walk, apparently, to my hotel. And to be honest, we need that shit after that meal. So let's go ahead and walk this off. Oh man, well that was quite a walk, and I'm not sure that I burned off nearly, well, any of the cevapcici really, considering how much was on my plate. But we are getting closer to my hotel, And I think it's time that I spill the beans, let you know a little bit about where I'm staying. Now, the thing is, look, when we were in the Soviet Union, or former Soviet Union, we stayed in quintessential Soviet accommodation whenever we could. So the Hotel Kazakhstan, the Hotel Uzbekistan, and here in Belgrade, the equivalent, the socialist equivalent, would be the iconic Hotel Jugoslavia. And the Hotel Jugoslavia is fascinating because it used to be a 5-star hotel. In fact, there's a lot of comments made by bourgeois folks back in the 70s about how, wow, the Hotel Jugoslavia is even nicer than what Paris or New York have to offer. And the thing is, yeah, it opened in 1969, and this was a period when Tito, we're going to talk all about Tito tomorrow, and Yugoslavia more generally, was really trying to chart a third way. It was a self-professed socialist country, but one that had good relations with the United States and the West, and also as time went on, it reestablished good relations with the East, with the Warsaw Pact and the Soviet Union. And it was basically a leading force within the non-aligned movement, you know, so also representing the global South nations. And the thing is, in 1961, Belgrade actually hosted the first non-aligned movement summit. And it was said, we don't know that this is necessarily true, but if nothing else, it's a nice urban legend, that Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie remarked to Tito, hey, you guys don't really have like an iconic hotel in Belgrade. You should call it the Yugoslavia. And when it opens in 1969, it actually has that name. Now, 5-star back in the day, everybody stayed there, from, we're talking, the Apollo 11 astronauts when they got back from the moon, to Queen Elizabeth II, to Richard Nixon. Yeah, we're talking about a lot of Western leaders as well, but also leaders from the East. And now, the hotel, I've heard, has come a long way, not necessarily in a good way. 2 stars have been knocked off, so it's a 3-star hotel. But let's see what the Hotel Jugoslavia has to offer today in 2024. It's a block away. Shit, I'm excited, man. Let's go. Well, if we're totally honest, the hotel does not really look that nice at all. But anyway, remarkable that it was a 5-star. And the thing is, we are now also marking the 25th anniversary of the NATO bombing of Yugoslavia, in particular Belgrade. And 2 missiles actually hit this hotel in May of 1999. Well, I can't imagine that back in the day, the front of the hotel would have looked anything like this. I mean, you can see the bench over here, like, it looks like it hasn't been, well, fixed in 20 years. Underscores perhaps the fact that things fall apart, as they did with Yugoslavia. But let's see what the remnants of it have to offer. How the mighty have fallen. Ay, 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 ay. Well, I don't have high hopes for it, but as a Yugonostalgic, I think it'll be incredible, and that's really what matters. So, you know, a lot of the reviews online are terrible, to be fair, but, you know, I think for the purposes of what we're trying to do, it'll be excellent, honestly. But who knows, let's see. Well, up here on floor number 4, and this is where I'm going to be, so floor 4 of 8. And yeah, you can already tell off the bat that it's definitely in need of a little bit of repair. But let's see how much charm it actually has. That's one of the really key things about a hotel, in my opinion, anyway. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't stay here in this particular location alone if, you know, it wasn't such an iconic hotel. And we are looking for, what is it, room 438. 438, where are we? Man, long, long halls. Could you imagine Queen Elizabeth coming down here at one point? I mean, I'm sure this stain wasn't on the wall when she was around, but man, the history this place has. All the world leaders, especially from the non-aligned movement, coming here. And there it is, 438. And this is gonna be us. Well, let's see what the room has to offer. You can definitely tell that it has not been spruced up, none of that good stuff over the last probably 20 years. A lot of stains on the carpet and things like that, but, and look over here, man. Oh, it's not looking too good. Anything in the fridge, by the way? Nah, empty fridge. I'm sure back in the day there would have been a mini bar. And hey, we got a balcony though. And unfortunately, we are on the side where you have the Nikola Tesla Boulevard. So not that exciting, to be honest. Although, let's see what the view is like. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Belgrade. But look at this. It's been a while. I don't actually want to stand out here. I feel like I might fall through at any given moment. But yeah, no, it's not bad at all, man. I mean, this will definitely do, you know, and will be interesting to see what happens with the hotel in a few years. Apparently, it's just been bought by the Marriott group, so, you know, maybe in 5-10 years, you'll be looking at a very, very different hotel. Let's see what the bathroom is like, actually, because that's always one of the keys. Oh, man, we got a Titoist sink over here. Shower curtain is looking clean, but very retro in a sense. And also here you can tell that, you know, again, it's been through a thing or two.